First of all, I'd like to thank Sarah Sweedler and all of her team for planning and executing the Fort Ross dialogue under uniquely challenging circumstances. And I'd also like to compliment them on the first day's panels. I think everybody would agree that that was a very impressive set of speakers we had last night, and we covered some very important topics. Chevron is proud to be a sponsor of this dialogue, along with our partners, Transneft and Sovcomflosh. And I wish we could all be together this week, enjoying the beauty of Fort Ross and seeing each other in person. Here's hoping we can get together in 2021 and, as Matt Rajansky said last night, enjoy a glass of California wine together. 2020 has been a year to remember and one that we will not soon forget. The global pandemic has disrupted energy markets and impacted economies around the world. It affects us all. The International Energy Agency asserts that COVID-19 has caused more disruption to the energy sector than any other event in recent history, and the impacts will be felt for years to come. The IEA reports that global energy demand will drop by 5% this year and is not expected to recover to pre-COVID levels until early 2023. And as we look forward, I'd like to provide Chevron's perspective about how we see the future of energy, and I'll focus on three key areas. First, oil and gas are going to be critical for meeting future energy demand. Over the next 20 years, the world's population is expected to grow from 7.8 billion people to more than 9 billion. While the IEA has revised downwards its projections for world energy demand, it still projects a 9% increase over the next 10 years. That demand will be driven by growing population and improved access to energy. A rising middle class with increasing income will seek improved quality of life. Increased incomes are strongly correlated to increased energy use. Cell phones, computers, personal transportation, heating, air conditioning, air travel, all require energy. The emerging markets in Asia, the Middle East, and Africa will remain the main drivers of global demand. Oil and gas will be needed to meet increasing global energy demand. Second, oil and gas are critical for supporting economic growth and human progress. There are 7.8 billion people on the planet today. About 1 billion of those people don't have access to electricity. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the combined population of the US, Russia, Mexico, and South America. Energy is essential for human life and improving the quality of life. Energy brings food, clothing, shelter, heating, and cooling. It makes possible mechanized agriculture and manufacturing, provides access to clean water and sanitation. Energy also brings improved air quality. 2.6 billion people don't have access to clean cooking, and 3 million people die each year from respiratory disease caused by cooking over open flames in their homes. Energy brings progress, and that progress brings better environmental living conditions for many of the world's poorest. If you look at the map of the world, the populated areas without electricity are the areas with the greatest environmental impacts to the human population. Third, the future of energy is lower carbon, without a doubt. A growing world needs all forms of energy, and we are working on transitioning to a lower carbon economy. Renewables such as wind and solar have become far more affordable in recent years, but it's still extremely challenging to get cleaner energy that is both affordable and reliable. Chevron supports the Paris Agreement. Our approach towards a lower carbon future focuses on actions and investment. We are working to lower the carbon intensity of our operations. We believe the right approach is funding projects that return the largest reduction in emissions at the lowest cost to the consumer. Since 2013, Chevron has reduced methane emissions from our US onshore production operations by 85%. And we've reduced flaring and associated emissions by 22%. We tied compensation for executives and nearly all employees to 4 different metrics on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. We believe in aligning compensation to these metrics is the most effective way to drive the results and generate innovative solutions. We're increasing renewables which support our business operations, and I'll share a few examples. Chevron purchases renewable power from a wind farm for our operations in the Permian Basin in Texas. In Wyoming, we built a wind farm on our former refinery site, and it generates 16.5 megawatts of power, enough to power about 13,000 US homes for a year at peak capacity. We power Lost Hills oil field in California with solar energy from solar panels on Chevron land. Chevron has multiple photovoltaic projects in New Mexico and California where we're testing and evaluating solar technologies. We formed several new ventures this year. We're working with 2 companies to produce dairy biomethane, renewable gas, a renewable gas for use in vehicles operating on compressed natural gas. In July, we announced an agreement with a power company to co-develop renewable power projects that will provide electricity to Chevron operations in the US, Kazakhstan, Argentina, and Australia. Chevron is an equity investor in a California-based company that produces high-performance base oils from renewable sources. We're also investing in breakthrough technologies. There will not be a single simple solution to addressing climate change. Solutions will come from multiple points of innovation. In 2018, we launched a future energy fund with an initial commitment of $100 million to lower emissions of oil and gas and access technologies critical for low carbon value chains. Here are a few examples of companies we've invested in. Natron Energy developed a new generation of longer life sodium-ion batteries with the potential for electric vehicle fast charging application. ChargePoint has built the world's leading electric vehicle charging network. A company called Voyage develops autonomous vehicles for on-demand mobility services. Robotaxi. Zap Energy is a nuclear fusion startup company developing a next-generation modular nuclear reactor. Their goal is to develop nuclear reactors and for advanced commercially scalable fusion. Chevron has invested approximately $1.1 billion in carbon capture, utilization and storage projects, most notably at our operations in Australia. The technology is challenging, but once operational, is expected to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by about 5 million metric tons per year, approximately the equivalent of greenhouse gas emissions attributable to 620,000 US homes' annual electricity usage. In closing, oil and gas are going to be critical for meeting future energy demand as the world population grows. That energy will support economic growth and human progress. It will improve the quality of people's lives. And most assuredly, the future of energy is lower carbon. Chevron's vision for the future is reliable, affordable, and ever cleaner energy for everyone. Thank you.